Hey everyone, brace yourselves as we delve into an incredibly vital discussion today, preparing for a possible food crisis in 2024. Imagine a world where your next meal isn't a sure thing. That's a reality we might face, and knowledge is your first line of defense. What if I told you that there are 8 essential foods that could be your lifesaver in tough times? Yes, we're tackling the ins and outs of stockpiling, the what, the why, and the how of preserving these vital sustenance sources. We're looking beyond just filling our pantries. We're aiming to arm you with the nutritional knowledge and storage smarts you'll need to weather any food shortage storm. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll have your blueprint to outsmart any food scarcity with these 8 critical foods. Get set to power up your preparation game. 1. Legumes. Imagine a world where the shelves of your local market are empty, a time when the convenience of popping into a shop to grab a bite is just a thing of the past. That's why today, we're diving into the magic of legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, the unsung heroes of survival and nutrition. These tiny treasures are the ultimate stockpile superstars, standing guard against hunger in times of crisis, packed to the brim with protein. They're the perfect substitute for meat, with none of the spoilage worries and a fraction of the cost. But the benefits don't end there. They're also brimming with fiber, vitamins, and a medley of minerals that'll keep your digestion running smoothly and bolster your health. When it comes to storage, think of it as a fortress for your future. Aim to amass at least 30 pounds per family member and shield them in airtight containers, tucked away in a cool, shadowy haven. Add in oxygen absorbers to keep them in their prime for eons and keep that fortress well maintained with regular checks and rotations. Legumes are culinary chameleons, adding pizzazz to any dish, and remember folks, soaking is key. It's the secret to making them easy on your belly. And let's not forget to be community savvy. Get to know your local legume lieges at farmers markets or bulk superstores. They're your lifeline when times get tough. 2. Water, H2O, the essence of life. Let's talk about it. Picture this: you've got a pantry loaded with cans, grains, and all the dried goods you can imagine. But what about water? This clear, flowing life force is crucial, especially amidst 2023's unpredictable food shortages. Let me paint a picture for you. You're going to need a waterfall of it. We're talking at least 1 gallon per person each day. For a family of 4, that's like having your very own mini lake of 120 gallons a month just to cater for drinking, cooking, and staying squeaky clean. But it's not just about quantity. It's also about keeping your liquid treasure safe from the green gooey grip of algae and bacteria. How? Opt for those sturdy, food-grade water containers, but leave the clear ones on the shelf. Transparency is not your friend here. Now imagine murky water. Not appealing, right? That's where your water alchemy skills come in. You'll want to have purification tablets, top-notch filters, or the age-old trick of boiling water to banish any nasties and make every drop gluggable. And let's bust a myth. Water may not expire, but your stockpile does need a refresh. Think of it as water aerobics for your storage. Rotate it every 6 months to keep things fresh and check on your trusty containers. Don't just hide your water away in the depths of your basement like a forgotten treasure chest. Store it where you can dive in easily during an emergency. And remember, water's heavy, so make sure your floors are up for the challenge, folks. So while you're playing Tetris with your canned beans and rice, prioritize your water storage. It's not just for quenching thirst. It's about ensuring you won't find yourself up the creek without a paddle when it comes to preparing meals and keeping germs at bay. 3. Root vegetables. When preparing for the long haul, can you guess which foods are the unsung heroes of the pantry? That's right, root vegetables, potatoes, carrots, and beets are not just delicious. They are survival goldmines. These subterranean treasures can last for months when stored correctly, keeping you well-fed and nutritionally balanced. Imagine this: even in times of scarcity, your underground army of root veggies stands strong. You have to store them in a cool, dark, and well-ventilated spot, steering clear of fruits like apples that could cause them to spoil prematurely. Make sure you're checking on your root reserves regularly. A little rotation goes a long way in ensuring freshness. Now, how much should you store? Consider your space and household needs, but generally, a multi-month supply with a variety of these starchy soldiers is ideal for maintaining dietary diversity. And let's talk versatility. These roots are ready to be transformed. Boil them, roast them, mash them, or even crunch on them raw. They slip perfectly into soups and stews, offering that much-needed variety that's essential for long-term morale and survival. And let's not forget, these fiber-packed powerhouses are brimming with vitamins C and B, minerals like potassium, and all the carbs you'll need to stay energized. So when you're stockpiling for potential food shortages, make root vegetables your underground champion. Let's dive into point number 4, because this one is a real game changer. The mighty whole grains. I'm talking rice, wheat, oats, you name it. If it's a grain, you're going to want it in abundance. Now, pry your ears open and listen. Each member of your survival squad needs at least 50 mighty pounds of these bad boys. Why? Because whole grains are not just a belly-filling bonanza. They're chock full of carbs for that long-lasting energy, and they pack a nutritious punch with fiber and vitamins to boot. But wait, storing these treasures isn't just tossing them in your pantry and calling it a day. Nope, you gotta be a grain guardian. Keep those kernels in airtight containers. We're talking food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers that laugh in the face of spoilage. This is your knight in shining armor for your grain, pushing that shelf life to a staggering 30 years, which, my friends, is a serious long-term love affair with readiness. Now, imagine your storage space as a fortress. The cooler and drier, the better. Basements or cellars can be a grain sanctuary, but no moisture. Please, it's the arch nemesis of grain longevity. And here's the delicious scoop. Whole grains are your culinary canvas. Grind them into flour and bake your heart out. Cook them as is for a hearty dish. They're like the Swiss Army knife of the kitchen. So many nutritious meal options that you'll practically be a Michelin star chef post-apocalypse. So comrades in prepping, stockpiling whole grains isn't just a task. It's an art form. It's the robust staple of your survival diet, ready to keep you going when the going gets tough. Get it right, and your food stockpile will be the envy of the survival world. How's the point number 5 of our must-have stash for when things go sideways? The canned food champions. So, picture this. The pantry's bare, the stores are shut tight, but you have a treasure trove of canned goods that laughs in the face of These metal-clad morsels are the unsung heroes in times of crisis. They're not just your grandma's cupboard ornaments. They are the iron armor in the battle against hunger, and here's why they totally rock. First up, we have veggies and fruits. They don't just sit pretty. They pack a nutritious punch while chilling on your shelves for a year or more. Canned meats join the fray too, armoring you with protein when the fridges go dark. Imagine that. No power, no problem. But wait, did you know that some canned veggies like tomatoes are hiding a secret? They're often even more nutritious than their fresh counterparts. Sneaky, right? Plus, with these bad boys, you skip the whole cooking saga. When you can't even think about firing up a stove, they're ready to jump straight onto your plate. Now, let's strategize. You'll want an army, say about 20 to 30 cans per person, each month. Build a rainbow alliance of different foods to keep things interesting and your body fighting fit. Get cunning with your rotation tactics too. Keep that supply fresh, or the taste of victory is sweet or savory depending on the con. Store your cans in a cool, dry bunker, place. Avoid those spots where spoilage is lying in wait. And hey, you food generals out there, let's not march into battle without considering our troops. Choose your stockpile considering dietary needs and allergies. But here's the clincher, the tool that might just save the day, a manual can opener. Yeah, you heard me. No electric gizmo is going to stand between you and survival. And pro tip, make sure your survival squad knows how to wield this mighty tool. There you have it, the blueprint to your very own emergency edible arsenal. With these tips, your food stockpile will be nutritious, diverse, and ready at a moment's notice. Let's dive into the 6th vital addition to your survival kit. Dried foods. Imagine having a pantry full of foods with a jaw-dropping shelf life of 25 to 30 years. Yes, you heard that right. Up to 3 decades. We're talking about freeze-dried fruits, vegetables, and meats, the superheroes of shelf stability. These aren't your average snacks. They're packed with enough vitamins and minerals to sustain you through the toughest times. The variety of dried foods available ensures that your taste buds won't tire, and your body will receive a spectrum of nutrients, even when fresh produce isn't an option. But the real gem about dried foods is their almost magical ease of preparation. Think about it, serious gubbly 95-bold deviled banchins is a splash of water and voila. You've got yourself a meal. This is especially game-changing when you find yourself in a situation where cooking is as likely as an ice cube's chance in a desert. More so, These foods are champions of space efficiency, making them easy to store without needing a hefty refrigerator. This is a boon during power outages when refrigeration might not be an option. There's a small catch, though. Rehydrating these life-saving morsels will require a sufficient water supply, so remember to manage your water storage with this in mind. To ensure these dried foods truly stand the test of time, keep them tucked away in a cool, dry spot. If you want to go the extra mile, vacuum-sealed packaging is your best bet to fend off the enemies of food preservation: air and moisture. Keep an eye on their packaging for any telltale signs of spoilage. But don't wait for an emergency to enjoy these versatile foods. Work them into your regular meal rotation to get accustomed to their unique qualities. This practice isn't just a culinary adventure. It's a strategic move to keep your emergency stockpile fresh and up to date. As we venture further into our survival pantry, we arrive at point number 7, the power of dairy, but not as you traditionally know it. When you think of dairy, fresh milk probably springs to mind. But here's the twist. We're talking about its long-lasting cousins: powdered milk, hard cheeses encased in wax, and canned evaporated or condensed milk. Let's break it down. Powdered milk is a survivalist's dream. It can go the distance, enduring on your shelf for years when stored correctly without losing its nutritional value. When you need it, it springs back to life with a splash of water. Think about it: USU cents of milk without the worry of rapid expiration or the necessity of a fridge. And let's not forget about those hard cheeses, since with a proper wax coating, these calorie-rich gems can remain edible for several months to a few years and are a valuable source of calcium and fat. Canned dairy is another heavy hitter in your food arm. Evaporated milk is unsweetened milk, with about 60% of its water content removed, and it stands strong against spoilage because of its canning process. Sweetened condensed milk is also canned, with added sugar creating an environment hostile to bacteria, thereby extending its shelf life impressively. Here's the strategy for incorporating dairy into your emergency stack. Focus on diversity and consider the nutritional benefits: calcium for bones, protein for muscles, and fats for energy. Securely store powdered milk and vacuum-sealed cheeses in a cool, dry place, preferably insulated from temperature fluctuations. Rotate your stock to keep it fresh and conduct regular taste tests. Familiarity with these food sources is key in an emergency. Yet, the true strength of these dairy products lies not only in their survival attributes, but also their culinary versatility. Reconstituted powdered milk can find its way into recipes, from baked goods to creamy sauces. Those wax-sealed cheeses can be standalone snacks or flavor-packed additions to meals. Moreover, condensed milk can sweeten your life during desperate times, whether it's in your coffee or as the base for a makeshift dessert. And now, brace yourselves for point number 8, the crown jewel of preparedness: baking essentials like flour, baking soda, baking powder, and yeast. Imagine the world outside is chaotic, but inside your kitchen, the smell of fresh bread. With these staples, you can become the superhero of sustenance, whipping up bread, pastries, and an array of comforting creations. First up, whole grain flour. Picture as your canvas and you're the artist. You'll want at least 5 to 10 pounds per person each month. Whole grain is not just a healthier choice, it's a strategist pick due to its longevity. Keep it cool and dry, or play it like the survival master and freeze it for the long game. Now, let's talk liftoff. Baking soda and baking powder, the unsung heroes behind every rise and fluff in the baking world. A couple of pounds of each are like a magic spell in your pantry. Small pinches can raise mountains of muffins and hills of cakes. Remember, to keep them potent, airtight containers are their sanctuaries. Last but yeast on our list is none other than yeast. Regular bakers, take note: storing about a pound per person per year lets you bake to your heart's delight. Yeast is like that reliable friend, lasting almost indefinitely in the chilly haven of your... As we wrap up our journey through the essential constituents of an exemplary survival pantry, it becomes clear that preparedness is not just about stockpiling. It is an art that involves careful selection and management of resources. Each item we've discussed forms a vital link in the chain of nutritional security, financial prudency, and culinary bliss. Even amidst the unpredictable tides of the future, embrace these staples as your arsenal against uncertainty and your partners in the dance of life's ebb and flow. Before we conclude, we have one question for you. Dear viewers, which of these survival pantry essentials do you think is most crucial And do you have any unique items in your emergency stash? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be a beacon of wisdom to fellow preppers. If you found value in this guide to building a survival pantry, please do us a solid. Hit that like button, and if you're new here or haven't yet joined our community of forward-thinking survivalists, subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll be well on your way to staying informed and equipped for whatever comes your way. Stay safe, stay prepared, and until next time, keep your pantry stocked and your spirits high.